Good morning, everyone. I'm Laurie Baracco, and it's time for the Empower Hour, which is an hour segment where I talk about different metaphysical subjects, topics on consciousness and raising your vibration to work with self-empowerment, as well as the self-empowerment, as well as feeling as if you're comfortable in your life and how to work through the challenges. So there are tons of different subjects that we talk about and discuss here in the Empower Hour. And I'm trying to, sorry, I have too many windows open here. I apologize. So I say good morning to the people in the online community at www.themysticalmoon.ning.com. And good morning to all of those who are watching on the Mystical Moon YouTube page. For future reference, you can always sign up for a free account in the online community, and that way you can participate in the live chat where you could share your comments, your suggestions, as well as post your psychic questions there as well. So first, I would like to go over a few things that are happening here at the Mystical Moon. And I am in the Bonita Springs location this morning, and my co-host is Buddha. Good morning, Buddha. And there's a second location, or the original location, in Fort Myers. You can always see, check out everything that we offer at www.themysticalmoon.com. And there we have the calendars, we have the links to the online store, as well as an appointment scheduling system where you can schedule your own session, and we also offer tons and tons and tons of phone sessions. We do many phone sessions, and the really cool thing about the phone system that we have is that it records your session. After your phone session, it records it and it sends you the link so you can listen to your session. So you don't have to worry so much about taking notes or paying. Well, of course you want to pay attention, but if you miss something, you can go back and you can listen to it. So that's always really cool. And I did want to give those of you who may not be on the mailing list for the Mystical Moon, or if you didn't receive the newsletter through the online community, I have a discount code for booking online sessions. And it's very, 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 very rare that I offer a discount on our sessions. We offer thousands of sessions throughout the month. I want to say, I have to kind of think about my numbers here. For the full month, we offer anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 sessions a month. That's a lot, and that's both stores. And then I do have some readers or spiritual consultants who work mainly through the phone system, and they don't live in the area. So we offer many sessions. However, I wanted to give people an opportunity to schedule online at their own convenience and to give you a little discount with that. And this discount code is only good until the end of May, till May 31st. So you must book online and pay online and use the code CLARITY10. That's CLARITY 10. And that code will give you 10% off your next session. So you book online and then you pay online. And that is at mysticalmoonpsychics.com. But if you go to mysticalmoon.com, you can find it there as well. And quite a few of you have already taken advantage of this rare event. As I mentioned, I don't usually offer a discount on those sessions. Okay, so what's up and coming? So for many of you, you may already know that I have made the announcement that I'm going to be taking over both crystal bowl meditations at the Bonita Springs store and the Fort Myers store. So in the Bonita Springs store, I host those meditations on the first and third Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30, and then in Fort Myers on the second and fourth Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30, and it's only $10 for an hour of crystal bowl bliss. And I've been playing the bowls for over 16 years. I totally love working with the bowls, and I have a few CDs that I've recorded with playing the crystal bowls, and they are most certainly an awesome way to realign your chakras, to reconnect to that higher self, and you don't have to do anything. You just lie down and receive. And it was pretty cool what I did something a little bit different. Instead of just having everybody select a card, I had everyone select a card from the crystal divination deck. And I had the corresponding crystals there. So everybody had a different crystal, everybody had a different card, everybody was working with a different energy, and they really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. So you're more than welcome to call and sign up through the phone system, or the phone line, the regular phone line, or through the website too. So that's something that I am now hosting. This Friday in the Fort Myers store, Paulette is hosting a tea leaf reading class. Now this is really cool. Tea leaves have been used for divination, for receiving and sharing psychic information for so long. Many different cultures have used this method of divination to help receive information. And it's so interesting how just looking at how the way the tea leaves come together, they can form letters, names, pictures, symbols, and there's a certain way of, it's a whole ritual: brewing the tea, drinking the tea, turning the cup over on the saucer, turning it, which is really, really cool. And you can learn how to do this for yourself at the Fort Myers store this Friday at 7 o'clock, and it's only $30. I do ask that if you're interested that you please call the Fort Myers store so that Paulette has a head count, so she knows how many people to prepare for with the tea, with the saucers, with all of that information. And I'm really looking forward to that. And we have had quite a few people who have requested these types of readings. And I really have just really had Christina Ming as a guest who has come in and offered those sessions. And it's been a little while since Christine has been in the area, so next time we'll have to ask her for that. But you can do this for yourself too. People have also used coffee grinds for divination. They've also used, there's a woman in Miami, I believe, she smokes, and as she smokes, the way the smoke from her cigarette, the pictures, the messages, the symbolism, she's able to do a really great reading in that way. I mean, there is no limit to the different types of divination tools and methods. Let's see what else we have going on here. This Saturday here in the Bonita Springs location, we have a psychic fair from 10 to 5. It's a great way of having a mini session for $25 for 20 minutes. I always have to get that right. 20 minutes for $25, and you could have a few different sessions. You can have a Reiki session with Cynthia, an energy session with Cynthia. You can have a palm reading with Claudia, a little bit of mediumship, a little bit of everything, or just come in if you have maybe a question or two, or maybe there's a reader that you wanted to kind of sample how they facilitate their sessions. And that's from 10 to 5 in the Bonita Springs location. And we do book up. We are usually turning people away for these private sessions for psychic fairs. So that's here on Saturday. And then on Sunday in the Bonita Springs location as well, we have Sacred Soul Sunday with Joanna. And then there is the Reiki makeup class with Pam. Last week she had a full class for Reiki 1. And so this Sunday, we are offering those who are unable to attend last Saturday's Reiki class with Pam to this Sunday at 1 p.m. Sacred Soul Sunday, by the way, is from 11 to 12. Then from 1 to 6 in the Bonita Springs location, we've got Pam's Reiki 1 attunement class. Then we're closed Monday for the holiday. And coming up soon is Carrie Stokes' drum making workshop on Sunday, June 11th in the Fort Myers location. We already have quite a list for people who are interested in attending, and they've already put their deposits down. So if you're interested in that drum making class workshop, it's from 12 to 4 in the Fort Myers location, and we do require a $125 deposit. And we also would need to know what type of skin you're interested in, what type of hide for your drum if you're interested in that. Okay, let's see what else we've got. I know there's so much happening here. And then I did one last announcement though. Saturday, June 3rd in the Bonita Springs location, Pam is going to offer an altar class. And I believe, I'm not sure, I think it's 12 to 5 maybe. It's $45, but it should be online on the online calendar. So Pam puts together the most lovely, wonderful altars. And she'll be going over the energy to create the sacred space and how to have it not only look beautiful, but how the symbolism and the energy, as you harness all of that to create this altar of intention. There are many different types of altars. There are healing altars. There are abundance altars. There's clearing altars. There are altars dedicated to a certain holiday. So she'll be going over this on Saturday, June 3rd in the Bonita Springs location. I already did have people who did ask about, they inquired about the altar class for Fort Myers. So we'll get that going too. Also coming up shortly are some more psychic development classes that I'm going to start putting together over the summer that I will be teaching, because I've had a plethora of people asking and requesting these, a tarot class and so on and so forth. So keep your eyes peeled for these things. Keep them up, and we'll also keep you up to date. And it is always my intention to help people embrace their intuition and how to use different tools. And today we're talking about candles and how to work with different methods of divination and how to have that clear connection with your higher guidance, and to have fun while doing it. So yeah, that's my intention. And I see more people, quite a few people have joined us in the YouTube, on the YouTube page, as well at, or channel, as well as in the online community. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to jump right into the topic now. So I feel like there was a lot of admin stuff that I had to take care of first. So today's topic is on candles, and my gosh, there's so much information and tips and suggestions on how to work with your candles, how to get the most out of them. And I know that they're one of the more popular items that we have in stock here at the store. And there are a few different types, quite a few different types of candles, and I don't carry all of them. There's no way I can carry all of the types of candles. You know, there's soy, there's beeswax, there are figurines, there are jarred candles, there are votives, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go over kind of some of the basics, and I most certainly do invite you in the online community to type up, comment, share any thoughts, questions in regards to candles. And the really cool thing about candles is that the information that you can receive from working with candles is vast, because you can, there's a way of reading the wax and how after the candle, as the candle's burning, and then after the candle is done, is complete, there are different ways of reading that wax and how to interpret them too. So first and foremost, I personally do work with candles every single day. So whether it's in my session, whether it's for meditation, whether it's to bring in energy, enhance energy, take away energy, a lot of the time, most of the time, 99.999% of the time, I light a candle with intention. I use the candle to help direct my intention, and I put it all together, and I bring focus, intention, and energy with my candles to help enhance what it is I'm trying to create. Now, will a candle do everything for me? Is it all magic? Do I not have to do my own physical work with my intention? Nope. It all goes hand in hand. And I've discussed this with the crystals too, or any type of spiritual tool or method, that it doesn't cancel out the hard work. It doesn't cancel out the understanding. It's not a shortcut to manifesting, clearing, bringing in, or taking away your intention of what it is you're trying to create in your life. It does not do that. It helps you really pull things together. The act of working with herbs or oils or cards with your intention, that is building up of the energy. You're creating an energy vortex as you kind of harness it all together to work with your intention. And what that candle does is it mind you to be aware when you're working with candles with an intention, to be aware of the changes that are happening in your life. It's to help you recognize when things start to shift. Let me just take a note here. Okay, sorry, we lost Robin. Sorry, hon, she got called away. Okay, we'll see you next time, sweetie. Let's see here. I knew there was a comment there. I heard the bang. Anyway, so the candle does not cancel all that out. It's the building up the momentum, the energy, and you are, what's the word I'm saying? Requesting of spirit to help you move through these obstacles that are possibly in the way from your intention or your goal. It's always about the journey. It's not always, the most important part is about the journey and what you understand about yourself and what you work through. And the reward, the celebration is the goal, okay? So what's most important is that we understand our patterns and we heal and we continue to work through the challenges. And as we work through those challenges, we get to raise our vibration. And that is why we're here, to raise our vibration, to shift our consciousness, to receive the blessings that are available at any time to all of us. All right, so as I mentioned, I always work with candles, and every single day. They light the way for us. They can burn away negativity. And spirit most certainly is attracted to the flame. It's that representation of spirit, of source, that spark, that candle. So it does help with that focused intention. It's that reminder, hey, we're so much more than this. We have this eternal flame that burns within all of us, and that candle most certainly does move things through. If you think about the elements, the candle is fire, right? Candles are fire. Fire, say with the tarot, the traditional tarot, has to do with the wands, and the wands are about getting things done. They are an action card. So that suit is about action and getting things done. So can candle magic help set that ball in motion? Absolutely. Even if you were to say work with your altar, and Pam will go over this in her altar class, that candle, right, is fire, which is in the south, and there are many different correspondences with that too. So if you look at a traditional altar, you may notice that the candle is in the south position in the altar, and that on the altar, and that also is a representation of Archangel Michael, which I did bring my Michael candle here too. So there's so much that you can build upon this, and I guarantee you that the energy, the thought, the planning that you put into all of this is building up the momentum and the energy vortex that you're pushing forward to kind of get things done and have things happen. Plus, for me, it's fun. I love working with these candles, right? To see what happens and how it all comes together. You can also use your candles for your prayers and intentions, and candles are used in churches and ceremony as well as for lighting our homes. A single candle can lighten a darkened room. And a lot of times, again, as I mentioned, we use the candles as metaphor for spirit within communication and for the light. All right, so there are many different types of candles, right? So this one here is a chime candle, or some people call them the mini candles or the party candles. And this little candle I use with a little holder here, right? So these are kind of quick little get things done, and we sell these at the store, and these will be in the online store soon as well. And these are great, as I mentioned, for getting things done very quickly. It's like, okay, you know what? I have a little bit of time today. I have maybe 6 hours. I think I'd like to work with a little bit of candle magic to get things going. And so maybe I'll select a blue candle, okay, and then I'll work with that. There's something I was going to say with that too. Oh, I would only work with one intention at a time. I would not work with 5 different candles for 5 different things. First of all, that's pretty chaotic, right? So all of these things, so I'm wanting everything to happen at once, and some of my obstacles will come up, some of the challenges may come up. Also, when things start to happen, and different challenges come up for the road, those roadblocks for us to work through. If we have more than one intention going at a time, we may not understand why something's happening and where to follow that lead, where to connect it with. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Right? So if you have all of these things going at once and all of this stuff is happening and these challenges, you're not able to connect the dots as to why this is happening and what in what area. And I do believe it's better to do one intention at a time. Okay. Oh, so different types of candles. Look at that, I'm all over. So much information to pack into a short time. So this is a votive candle. So these are the Coventry candles that we have at the store. These already have herbs and oils and intentions in them. So these excuse me, not only that, but they're made when the phase of the moon is just right for these intentions. So this one is the energy candle, and the color is important as well. And this one you can use for so many different things, right? So they have little cards that come with them. Say if you're tired, or you need a little bit of boost in your willpower, or you want to work with the I'm trying to ask Spirit, is this more like a solar plexus candle? Yeah, I'd say more solar plexus, although it has a little bit of orange, but their orange is a little bit more red. So this would be the solar plexus, will, discipline, and you can work with the prayer that they have, but you can also use this for the color, for the stamina and the discipline to get some things done. And these candles in the store, we usually sell them in packs of 3. So people usually buy them in 3s. And they usually use one, say, to clear the energy. Maybe this one they might use to keep the momentum going. And then they may burn a third one to kind of ground it for that last one might be the end result or that intention. Say if I wanted abundance, right? So then the abundance candle would probably be last. Maybe I'll use maybe even a witch's brew, because that enhances it. So I'm going to first burn my witch's brew, have the stamina and the energy to stay disciplined with my intention, and then to see it through. And my final intention would be the abundance candle. Okay, so these are really great too. Oh, these burn for those maybe 3 to 4 hours. This one may burn, I don't know, I've seen it burn anywhere from 6 hours to 13 hours, all right? So it all depends. Burning time does depend on the intention that you're working with as well. And it is important too, I don't even know if I have this in my notes, it is important to pay attention to how long it does take to burn. When working with intention with candles, I try to light it. Like, so I only light it if I'm able there, like this. I'm not going to light this and go out 20 minutes later. It's best for you to make sure you light an intention candle and keep it going for at least 2 hours. That has the energy going, the momentum, and if you can, any period of time after that is fabulous. If you say after 3 hours, oh, I have to go out, I would suggest using a candle snuffer. Now there are a lot of people that say, I just leave it burning in my tub. And that is not my suggestion. I suggest that you put a candle out. I mean, I've been blessed, I'm going to knock wood, that it has happened a couple of times here at the center where someone left a candle going, or 3. And yes, I do have so much gratitude for Spirit protecting the space. But, you know, stuff can happen. And we've all heard about these horror stories where a home was burned down and people even tragically have passed from candle fires. So be so careful. I respect the energy of the candle. And if I need to, I use a candle snuffer to put it out. I know that I've had past lives where I have perished from fires before. I totally know that because I have a fear. I'll give you one small story. In the Island Park Mystical Moon, there was the classroom was in the center of the space, and it was a Sunday, and I was off that Sunday. And there were a couple. There was the front desk and the reader that day. They had lit what are those party light candles? Those big, those giant candles that had 3 wicks, and they left it going all night. So I came in Monday morning and that room was so hot. And I just had so much gratitude for spirit protecting the space. However, I don't tempt. I don't tempt being luck. I don't play the game, right? So I'm so careful with that because it's so powerful. Fire is so powerful. It can destroy, it can do clear, it could do so many different things. So my advice is to put it out if you can. All right, if you need to go away, put it out and use a candle snuffer to put it out. Other types of candles. Here's a larger jar candle. This is a 7-day candle. It has 7 different colors, and what you can do is work with a specific intention. You would burn a little bit, every day you would burn it down to a different color, right? And that will help you with your intention. To take this candle to the next step, what you can do is you could get a skewer and you can add some herbs and maybe some oils, right? And with the skewer, you poke it down in there. You poke the skewer all the way through, and then you could sprinkle some herbs and push those down into the candle. And that's something that a lot of people do. It's called a dressed and blessed candle. I used to have a huge station for these, but just time, space, and it does take a lot of time and space to do these. But this is something that you can do for yourself, all right, which is pretty cool. I also, I know I did mention there are figurine candles, and they all represent different things, such as there are men, women, statues. I've seen cats. I've seen stars. These all bring in that extra element of with your intention as well. This here is a jar candle. This is one of the Mystical Moon Magic candles, and it has the colors, the aromatherapy. It has been charged with the frequency and with Reiki energy and calling in Archangel Michael. These candles are soy and they last for about 50 hours. And these two, you can also work with a specific intention with Michael. And how you would do that is this is how I do this sometimes. First of all, with my intention, right? I've mentioned it a few times, intentions. So here is a piece of paper and a pencil. And what I might do is write down my name, my birth date, and my intention. So say I would like to ask Spirit to keep the vibration high in the space today. So, or in my own space, right, in my room. I, Laurie Baracco, March 12th, 1968, request of Spirit this intention that my sacred space in my rooms continue to remain sacred, peaceful, high vibration, and so it is. And so what some people do is they may write their intention like across. Some people cut the paper out into a shape, or some people might write their intention in a circular motion. And that creates that spiral, right? And so I'm just going to show you here with the wording, and then what you can do here is do you see how I wrote that? I, Laurie Baracco, and then I would write my birth date and my intention, kind of writing in a circle. And then after I have created this, my intention, I then finish it up by directing the energy to a concentrated point with my spiral. Boop. And then what I might do is take a little bit of oil, like those sound effects, is I state my intention with the oil. I, Laurie Baracco, is my intention. I'm building that energy with my oil, my corresponding oil. And here I have my written intention, okay? Then to add to extra oomph, if I'm able to, say with my chime candle here, my little mini candle, I will take either a pencil, a stylus, a toothpick, and I will write the same thing that I wrote on my intention paper. I will write it along my candle, and I'll turn my candle, and then that's all set. And then I will take my oil, and then I will dress my candle from top to center. And there are different ways of anointing your candle with the oil. And if you, there's a certain way for bringing in energy, for taking away energy, and so on and so forth. So after I have put the oil on my candle, what I might do next then is take some herbs, and I may sprinkle my herbs on a piece of paper and then roll my candle into that has oil on it into the herbs, and then I'm all set with my intention. And here's my intention, here's my candle, and I am ready to go. Of course, before I began that, I want to make sure that I'm in a grounded state, that I am centered and I'm clear with my intention. I'm not working with magic with anybody else's name or energy. It's all about me and me harnessing that energy for my own personal intention. And I'm not going to try to influence others. I definitely, if you want romance, I would ask to be in alignment with a partner that's for my highest and best good. I may ask that my heart is open and clear, and that I am able to recognize and embrace the relationship possibilities, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we do not want to put down anybody else's name. Now, if someone asked you when they requested you to do, say, a healing candle, hey, can you do me a favor? And I know you do stuff with the candle stuff, and say someone asked you, can you create a healing candle for me? Then you have their permission, and I would ask that this person be whatever you would come up with the intention for them with their permission. Okay. And I know a lot of people that have come into the store and they've asked, oh, I want to buy a candle and I'm going to do candle magic for so-and-so. And I'll say, do you have their permission? Do they want you to do this? And so that's something that we do definitely need to be mindful of, is respecting other people and where they're at, and try not to control them in that way. It's a big no-no when we do that. All right. The other thing that I had mentioned with building up the energy is you could pull a card. So I might pull a card to see, right? So for abundance or whatever it is, if I selected the chosen color that corresponds with my intention. This one I asked for peacefulness, I believe, for peaceful, good energy in my session, which would be perfect because blue is for, it has a calming feeling. It also helps with communication and helps connect us with the other side. So I might pull an angel card, and the card that I selected is intention. So I'll have to read up on that too. So I might have this card, I might put it under my candle or next to my candle as the energy that I'm working with. Oh, that's really cool. Can you see this? Just 2 candles there. Look at that. How awesome. So there are no coincidences. So that might be how I work with that. And as say, if you're using a larger candle, it's going to take a few days to work with. You might want to select a card a day to see what the message is as you journey with this candle. Okay, it's really neat how it all kind of comes together. Have I still got y'all there? Are y'all still paying attention? Have I lost you? Looks like everybody's still kind of here. Good. All right, as well as on the YouTube page. So now I'm going to go into some of the different colors, and I want to say that I might have this on one of my blogs, but still here. Hey, Christina, Chris, still there. That's good. Okay. Okay, so I might, as I mentioned, I might have some of the correspondences on the Mystical Moon blog, and I might put some on the correspondences with the colors when we have those mini candles online. But anyway, so if you have pen and paper, if you want to kind of jot these down. So red is traditionally passion, physical love, family matters, root chakra. Blue, communication, the moon, peace, channeling, throat chakra. Green, healing, abundance, heart chakra. Black is protection, absorption of negativity, and also a root chakra candle. White is protection, purity, peace, connection to spirit, the crown chakra. Pink, self-love, romance, heart chakra. Purple is intuition, spiritual growth, third eye chakra. Brown is grounding, physical property, pet healing, and root chakra. You can work with your pets. Not a cool one? Orange, strength, success, healing for intimacy, creativity, and sacral chakra. Yellow, communication, cheerfulness, assisting with willpower, and solar plexus chakra. Gold is wealth, the sun, royalty, and silver is inner growth, beauty, and art. So as I mentioned, you can use a little bit of oil to add a little extra oomph to your candles. And you can also write your intention on your candle, as I mentioned. So we already covered quite a bit of that. All right, so now comes the part, you've got all this stuff going. Now comes the part where you will read the wax as it's burning. Oh, I just remembered another type of candle that I did not bring back here with me. Paulette has created this really cool line of intention candles with votives, and I didn't bring them back here, and I forgot. Sorry, I apologize. But she's taken tea lights, and she works with the different corresponding energies and the herbs and the oils, and she will sprinkle. She'll have them laid out, and she'll sprinkle different herbs on these tea light candles, and then she will maybe also sprinkle a little bit of glitter, a little bit of the oil over them, and then she'll take a corresponding chime candle, these mini candles, and she'll burn the wax over them. They are really awesome. People have had fantastic results with them. So that's also a different type of candle, and it definitely moves some energy for you. All right, so moving into reading the wax. You can read the candle as it is burning. If there are a lot of drips, you may need to work on your intention. So that might be like, the reading of it might be like, oh, it's a little messy. So if there are a lot of like a pillar candle, like the chime, or those pillar candles that people put in the taper candle, that's what it is. If there's a lot of dripping, or even if the candle goes out, it means, okay, I probably need to clean up some of the energy around my intention. And so if your candle goes out, if that flame goes out, then it's time to kind of regroup, refocus on what it is that you want to work with, that energy, maybe put that to the side and work with like maybe a black candle to remove some of the negativity and some of the obstacles that are in the way. And then I would go back to that intention. It's kind of like Spirit saying, you're not quite there yet. You're trying to get to Z, but you didn't do M, N, O, P. Okay, so there are a couple of steps that you might need to work through consciousness-wise in order to help you be in alignment with your intention. So there's also a way of watching the flame. If you relax and kind of look at that flame, you may see pictures. I've seen angels, people. I've scried with the flame of that candle. And again, watching the wax as it melts, it tells a story. It helps kind of put you in that psychic intuitive space as well. So when you're looking at your candle, if it burns more to the right, it means that there may be some male influences with the situation, that you may need to be more proactive, or maybe you're too proactive, or assertive, or being assertive. So that's a way of looking at it that way. If it burns more to the left, like your drip, the flame, or the candle wax is going more to the right, there could be female influences. It could be that intuition that you're not paying attention to your own intuition. You may not be receptive to what's happening and how maybe the assistance is coming to you and through whom it's coming through to you, for you. That makes sense. If it's burning forward, we may be looking a little bit further out into the future than what it is, than the timeline that you had hoped for. If it's burning more towards the back, or the wax is dripping towards the back, there might be some stuff in your past that you need to kind of clean up a little bit more so. Okay, they're very interesting. When my candle's through, and if there's wax left over, I might carry it around with me, say for 21 days, to still work with that intention. And I might put in a little baggie and keep it in my auric field, in my pocket. And some people have mojo bags that they tie around their neck. And it's a reminder that I'm still working with that intention, that energy in my auric field for 21 days. After that time, I may burn my wax, bury my wax, excuse me. And maybe I might put it out in the earth, like in a certain spot, in a planter, and I'm giving it back to the earth. And of course, I thank Spirit for the opportunity to help me with my intentions and what it is I'm trying to create in my life. All right, so I see everybody's still here in the online community as well as on the YouTube page. If you have any questions in regards to the information that I've gone over so far, please feel free to type it in the online community. Oh, there's a question. So Jen has a question. What type of candle do you suggest to burn to honor someone who has passed? I would work with white. I was gonna say white or purple, but they're telling me white. There's the purity to honor them, to maybe even request that if they, that this candle is a representation that I'm open to connect with you and I'm open to receive the messages and honor your spirit. I would work with white. And you can even put their picture on your altar, right? Next to the candle. That kind of would be a nice way of connecting and honoring them. They're even showing me too, maybe some flowers on your altar. Maybe also have a couple of crystals nearby that help with spirit communication and love and all of that energy and pulling it together. All right, we have another question. With the wax, what if all 3 candle wax melts blend together? This is what they're saying. It's more of that combined effort. Just know that all of those colors or those intentions all working together. And I'm hearing it's also a validation of that that the elements and the intentions that you've pulled all together will work beautifully together. It's like, oh, it's all combined and merged together. Okay? Hope that answers that, Chris. And Jen, you're very welcome. Sounds lovely, she says. You're very welcome. I did want to go over, so the phases of the moon too, that also does help enhance what it is you're trying to do. There are also the days of the week, right? So the one that I really do know the most about is Thursday for Jupiter, for abundance. Thursday's an excellent day to work with intention for abundance. Christina has another question. With the written intention, do we burn it or bury it with the wax? You can do either. And you know, here's the thing is that there is no wrong way. So if you feel like it is done, most certainly you can burn that intention and give it up to spirit, or you can put it in with your wax, okay? You can, so say, because I'm hearing spirit with a little extra here, that if you were to, say if you had a couple of herbs that you worked with your candle, you can, and you're ready to bury your wax or with your intention, maybe use some of those herbs still. So say if I used lavender with my candle intention, I might add a little extra lavender to my already completed candle magic with love and gratitude as I bury that as well. Okay, Welcome. Alrighty, so the phases of the moon. New moon magic. New moon workings can be done from the day of the new moon to 3.5 days after. The new moon is for starting new ventures, new beginnings, also love, romance, health, or job hunting. So new moon is for new beginnings. Waxing moon is from 7 to 14 days after the new moon. The waxing moon is for constructive magic, such as love, success, courage, friendship, luck, and health. Full moon magic is 14 to 17 days after the new moon. Prime time for rituals for prophecy, protection, divination. Any working that needs extra power, such as helping find a new job or healing for serious conditions. It can be done then. Also, love, knowledge, legal undertakings, money, and dreams. Sorry, gotta clear my throat. Waning moon magic, from 3.5 to 10.5 days after the full moon. So this is after the grand finale of all of that energy, right? Then after the full moon is the waning moon. This is where we're taking away. So think of this as the new moon is building up energy and bringing in to the full moon. And then after the full moon is, what do we want to release? What do we want to let go of? So the waning moon is used for banishing magic, and that's what they call it, banishing magic, for ridding oneself of addictions, illness, negativity, situations that you're saying, I am done with this. I am done with drama. It would be a good time to say, if you're giving up coffee or sugar or say smoking, great time to do that with intention is afterwards, okay? After the full moon, excuse me. So that's taking away energy. So the dark moon magic is 10.5 to 14 days after the full moon. The dark moon is a time for ridding oneself, as I mentioned, of these things, bad habits, binding spells. You want to be careful with binding spells because that's where you're containing that energy. That would be, say, if I'm gathering all of the energy or the negative tendencies I might have towards coffee, sugar, and I would pull all that together. I'm harnessing that energy. We don't want to use people's names. I'm just going to tell you that's a big no-no. We don't want to do any kind of controlling magic. Also, the dark moon magic is for exploring our darkest recesses and understanding our angers and frustrations. That is recognizing and with intention releasing those unhealthy habits that we may have that we know are not for our highest and best good. So is it the candle that possesses the magic? Or is it you? You decide. It may be you give your power or energy to the candle, but it's also the agreed upon concept that we all have here, that with my hardest intention and focus, that I am setting some energy into motion. Also, what I like to do too is a 21-day full moon magic. So on the new moon, I would have 21 different tea lights, and you can dress them as Paulette had taught in her tea light class. You would light the first tea light on that first new moon, on the first night of the new moon. You would charge it up with your intention and then allow it to burn out, and then you would do the same thing for the next 20 nights, right? Only one tea light at a time. One time I had someone who did this, and they said, oh my gosh, I'm going through tea lights like crazy. I mean, she was lighting 21 tea lights a night. And you know me with my fire thing. I said, oh, no, just do one in a night. And that's more than enough. That's more than enough intention. So that really did help get that momentum going there. I think I've covered just about all that I was supposed to cover here with the candle magic. So I'm going to invite you to ask any other questions that you may have in regards to the candle magic. If not, you are more than welcome to type in any questions that you may have, psychic questions. We have just a couple more minutes here in the online community. Yeah, so feel free to do that. Ooh, I almost lost you there. Oh, in the meantime, next week's subject is on the topic of owning a spiritual business and or being a spiritual practitioner. Has to do with getting yourself out there and some things to keep in mind. So I'm also going to be writing a blog about this, but it's a topic that many people do come to me for advice when it comes to whether opening up a center, or if you're wanting to delve out into doing readings or Reiki sessions for yourself as a practitioner. It's kind of like the do's and the don'ts, or did you know a few different things, because that is something that a lot of people struggle with. They have the best of intentions, right? They have all of this training and they've practiced, and then what? It's a business. It definitely is a business. And after being in this business for 16 plus years, that there are a lot of things that I have learned. The good, the bad, the ugly, the celebratory, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to share some different thoughts that I have on that subject for next week. So I hope to see you all here for that. And to bring your questions on that topic matter as well. And that is a workshop that I will be hosting here at the center. I'm not sure if Fort Myers or Bonita yet, on that topic matter. And I have facilitated professional psychic training. For others, I probably will look into doing that this summer as well. As I mentioned, also my psychic development classes, where we might cover spirit guides, meditation, clairvoyance, a little bit of everything, mediumship. I really do enjoy teaching those classes. So as I'm looking here, I don't see any questions. Looks like everybody's pretty good to go right now. And so, all right. Unless you're all kind of thinking about what kind of candle to work with next. Maybe your mind's already going, what do I have here? What can I gather together to work with my intention? And what phase is that darn moon in right now? I can hear all of you. Well, it's been my pleasure connecting with all of you, and thank you. And I hope that this helps broaden your horizons with candles, and I invite you to harness that energy and to bring your laser focus to achieving your goals. As I mentioned, it's not just that the candle works, it's I am working with intention, and intention is so powerful and so important. And it really does help us recognize the triggers, what's popping up and why it's popping up, you know? Yeah. All right, well, I'm Laurie. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everybody. Namaste, and you're so welcome. Thank you.